Welcome, my friends. Today is Monday, November the 10th, the day before Veterans Day, and you're going to listen to a lot of veteran stuff tonight.
You are.
Because it's very important that everybody comes downtown tomorrow at 11 o'clock. There's a parade going to start like it always does at Cross Street and come up from the south end, and they'll be on the Common at 11 o'clock because George Poole and Larry Giuseppe make sure that they're on schedule.
Yeah.
So that'll be tomorrow morning. We'll get into that a little bit later on, and we'll try and see if we can intimidate all these veterans to come down there in the morning.
To come on, yeah.
So we'll get right to this business. There's not much on here, so that's why we're going to talk a lot about veterans, but we'll see what Mrs. Lahern has left with us. And the other thing, what we did today is Lauren and Jennifer Gadd and myself, we went down to the mayor's office at 12 o'clock. We talked to him for a little bit, and we'll go over that maybe a little bit too and see what he's very happy, I think, sitting in a chair, answering all the questions. So it was pretty informative. I don't know about informative. It'd probably be very informative for a lot of people who watch us or will watch the program. But I think for us, well, we're talking about this stuff all the time, you know. You say, geez, we keep yakking about the same stuff over and over and over again. But the winter parking ban starts November 15th, which is this week.
The end of the week.
And you got to park on the odd side of the street only. And I don't remember if that's always the way it was. That always the way it was.
I think when it first started, they used to do odd and even. They used to go back and forth.
Yeah.
But now it's one side.
Yeah, good. I'm going to put all the snow over there on this side. How are you anyway?
Not bad.
You all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we're hanging in there.
Do you have any winners in the election? You had a couple,
I
think.
had a couple.
Yeah? I thought, well, we'll get to that after. And then the questions. We'll talk about the questions. All right, the MSBA, which is the Massachusetts School Building Association, I just remembered that now, requested a vote on the merger between the Hurl School and the Wyman School, because all of these things, according to Paul, who's been through this before, and the mayor, your ducks got to be in a row.
Yep.
So they want to make sure. Did you vote on that, the merge of those two schools? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So now we're moving along, and we're going to see how they do as far as the money is concerned.
Finances.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting thing. Of course, the school is going to be at the farm stand on Wyman Street. Baker takes 12 out of the 14 precincts. Unbelievable. I thought that was unbelievable.
You did?
Yep, 12 out of 14.
Wow.
You know, they did, Scott Brown, he did about the same when he ran for senator against Paul, right? Because he did very well in Woburn. And the CPA question, that's the Community Preservation Act question, was defeated by just 131 votes. And there were 6,000 on either side and about 1,000 or 1,400 blanks. So we'll never know whether the blanks just weren't informed or the people just never got to the back side of the paper. So we'll talk about that a little bit after too. Former Dayton principal, Dayton, Mass. I know where that is, but I couldn't.
Yeah, he's coming to the white school, is it?
The white school.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He's going to come out. He's a former principal, Cummings. His name is Cummings, which confused me terribly. Cummings picked to lead White Elementary School. But I think Dayton's down Fall River way, maybe. I'm not sure. And Woburn native Mike Day. Is that his name, Mike?
Joe Day's son. And Mary.
Elected new state representative from Stoneham and Winchester.
Mostly, you know, I first of all, I want to say I had met that young man several times. I know his father very well.
Very well.
And his mother, Mary.
Yes.
And
everybody in Woburn must know them too.
Oh, yeah. Gee, Eddie, that in the years gone by, if you can think about that, we'll say that seat, we'll call it the seat in that district. I think it's the 31st district, but I'm not sure of that. Winchester and Stoneham, it always was a Winchester seat. You know, now this young man lives in Stoneham.
Yep.
And it was, I guess it was within 700 or 800 votes, but he did okay in Winchester. So
Yeah, that's good.
you know, Casey, you remember Casey was a rep for 20 years, I guess, and he lived in Winchester. And then Lewis, who moved up to state senator, yeah, he was in Winchester. So I think he kind of broke through that ice there.
Is Young Day an attorney?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, yeah.
So he'll fit right in there.
He's an attorney.
We'll have to have Dwyer give him lessons on how does that work, you know what I mean? Dwyer will be in there.
I think he'll get.
Another one.
I think he'll be coached very well by
He'll
his
be,
father.
yeah, his
By
father knows. His father knows what day it is, that's
Oh,
for sure.
yes.
Yeah. All good people over there, East Woburn. He come from Utica Street.
Yeah.
I don't think this young man come from Utica Street, but the parents, Joe Day's parents, and Joe Day and Jimmy, and the hockey player, what's his name? Worked for the city.
Oh, he's down there.
Yeah.
I'll think of
So
it.
they all came from Utica Street.
Yeah.
Great place over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Mary, I think Mary came from
Mary Wynn.
on the Parkway, I think. Eddie.
Yep, right near the Parkway.
Yeah.
What's the street there? Right next to the Parkway. Yep. The Winns. Yep. Great family. Mary and Joe been around a long time. And they'll be saying the same about me. Say, you've been around a long time yourself, you dopes. All right, with revenues dropping, school officials declined to increase facility rental fees. Now, I didn't read the whole article, but I think this is going to cost, this is only going to, if they don't want to raise the rate for the rent the facilities, so they're going to go in the red, in the black,
a deficit.
So they'll be in deficit spending. So now they don't want to raise the rate. People want to rent the place. Now it goes down. So you will pay when they come in with a supplementary budget to make up the difference. You'll pay for that. The Community Preservation Act, CPA backers say they will try again soon. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll give you a hint right now. I'm not happy about the fact that you can lose an election and come back in a minute. You know, I mean, you had a shot. It was a good, well-run campaign. Paul was involved, I was involved, everybody was involved. We were here a lot. We educated as many people as possible, as we could. You know, we had positions, they had positions, and it goes down. So now, as soon as you lose, you just say, I want to do it again. You're just going to keep doing it, put it in front of me until you pass it. There's something wrong there.
Well, I happen to kind of concur with you. And like, we'll take the bottle bill, and I know you're going to talk about that. The bottle bill, you can't bring that back now for 6 years, although that's a state initiative. A state initiative. This initiative started in Woburn by a vote of the city council, which I hope doesn't happen again. And maybe we can look at our charter to see. I just want to say this here.
You think
I didn't win. I didn't win. It was a question, and I think it was well debated. I believe there was a lot of time put into it on both sides. And you know what I'm worried about now? I'm worried about poor people that don't have turkeys for Thanksgiving. We're working some business people as we sit here to try to get donations for social concerns.
Yep.
And other people in our community that are having difficulties. I'm thinking about Christmas coming down the line, Toys for Tots, and things of that nature for kids and families that don't have. We call them the have-nots. So those are the things that I think we should be thinking about. I don't want to get involved in debating CPA whether that was true or that wasn't true. It's over now, and I hope it stays over for a while. Give us a time to breathe a little bit, and let's pause tomorrow for our veterans. That's the main thing.
Moving on. Many being cut off for not paying the school lunch account deficits again is an issue. That's the same thing, comes up every year. You know, the way the system works, the parents have to put money in on a credit card, then the kid goes down, he buys what he wants for lunch, they swipe it off the credit card, and then they always go over because they don't want, apparently the message they get down in the cafeteria is they don't want them to go hungry, so they let them go, and then the builds up, and so they're $9,000 in the hole. So that's another thing. So somebody's going to make that up too somewhere. You know, we'll have to make that up. But I don't know how else you can do it. You know, I don't know what the process is. They send a message home and say, you know, you got to put more money in the account. Or let them take a peanut butter sandwich to school in a brown
Bring
bag.
the lunch.
You know what I mean? They all got backpacks. They could pack a lunch in there with water or whatever else they want to have to drink too. So there's a way to get around it. But I hate to see these things where the facility rental goes down and they don't want to raise the rate and they don't want to take action. You know, I mean, they're not going to certainly shut the kids off from lunch.
Yeah.
So then they go in the hole. So now there's money missing. So now they got to do something about making that up. You know, the bookkeeper comes in and says, "What happened here?" You know, so they got to do something. So that'll be another one. They'll come in with another budget, say, "Yeah, this will cost you another couple of bucks." All right. So I just want to go over a couple of things here. We talked to the mayor. We had a little conversation with the mayor this morning. We talked about the W.R. Grace property. He was very happy about some very, very, very preliminary discussions about a hotel and 3 restaurants going over there. There's 11 acres. I didn't know this, but the administrations over the past few years are very happy with hotels. Hotels are a nice cash cow.
Cash cow.
Cash cow.
Yeah.
So you're getting the real estate taxes, you're getting the room taxes,
Right.
and now we're getting the meals taxes.
And we don't, you know,
we don't provide
we don't
any-
give them nothing. We don't, you know, the main road that they get in and out, yeah, we plow that. But
Yeah.
they take care of all their properties. If you go around and take a look at the hotels that Woburn has, they're all kept very well.
And what he thought, I thought Cummings owned Tower Park Road, but that's a city road.
It's a city.
Yeah, so they can come out the side.
Yeah.
And that'll make there'll still be a curb cut on Washington Street, but that'll be like some kind of a
Well,
side in.
if you look at that setup, which I'm very familiar with, I drove over it, I guess, for 20 years, in and out of there already in the tower, they call it the tower.
Yeah, Tower Park.
You got the signal of the light there, which is good. I would imagine they might kick another light in for the entrance of this. I can't say that, but that light, we've adjusted it many times, and we've got it pretty well regulated there. As you know, and I'll repeat what a former mayor, Ed Gill, said, Washington Street will someday be Main Street of Woburn. That's a quote, but
There's
there's a lot of business
I've heard
there.
that before, and as far as shopping is concerned, it could be. And nobody ever explained to me what happened when John Brophy was the building commissioner under a couple of mayors.
A couple of
at
mayors,
least.
3 mayors, I think.
And he was also the chief zoning enforcer.
Yes.
And he had his own interpretations of the law. If Brophy was over there now, Cummings, Washington Street wouldn't look like it does now. I mean,
As far as retail.
yeah, retail, yeah. Because I mean, you got a big, tall building there that says medical center on it. You could probably get an operation in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the dentist, the doctor, the
Yeah.
Indian chief, everybody. So there's 1 million businesses over there, and I think you were the one who informed me that he has a directory about all the
He does.
businesses you have in Woburn.
Yes, he does.
So that's a good thing. But I doubt very much whether Brophy would have had allowed it. You had to have a certain percentage of warehouse space before you could open up a retail part of it and all that.
Eddie, over the years, that zoning has changed, I would say at least 3 or 4 times for that area. And you are correct. I believe the percentage that you have to have, we'll say use the term warehouse or for, to store things, is 25%. I'm not sure it's 30, but it's 25, because I remember what the...
But I mean, you can have a restaurant there.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, they don't have any storage. I mean, it's not a warehouse type of store.
And they're in the process of changing it again, that you can have a hotel and a restaurant on one site. In other words, if you look at it, W.R. Grace is one site. Now, you could really only probably put 2 buildings there, and they can't, the hotel is one. They're going to allow restaurants with the hotel zoning now.
Yeah.
Before, if you took Thackeray's, remember Thackeray's?
Yeah, Thackeray's, yeah.
And where you got now, what's that? The
Uno's, yeah.
the hotel. That was separated at one time. Then we put that connecting between them that you can walk back and forth. At one time, that was it Cole? I'm trying to think of the name of that hotel when it was first built. That was not connected to Thackeray's.
Really?
Yeah. So
Well, anyway, that's a big deal. That's going to be a big deal over there.
well, let me say this.
And that'll make the property, the other piece north of that.
Yes.
North.
Yeah,
I guess,
where the car
where the
dealership
car
was.
dealership was.
Eddie, you and I know that every time when W.R. Grace comes up in discussion, it's kind of like a cloud over
negative.
us. It's a cloud over
Yeah.
us. And that property's been there a long time with nothing on it.
Yeah.
And they still go in and out of there with their test wells. They have test wells all over that
the
site.
place.
You can
Yeah.
see them open the cover. They go down with a little jug on a twine and bring up water. And so my understanding is that there's a filtering shed down and back towards 93 that's going to stay on the site where they pump in groundwater and filter it. So that's staying there. But I am very enthused as the mayor is that maybe we'll get rid of that cloud a little bit.
That's right. That was his point too.
Yeah.
The DEP was, everybody's happy. Everybody is happy about that site being off, getting it off the bad people.
Yeah.
So that was good. He was happy. But like he says, in a lot of these things, they're very, very preliminary stages of what's going to happen, you know, because it could change. But once one person is interested, and I think if the economy begins to still inching up a little bit every month, then as long as these banks got the dough, they'll do it. They'll do it sooner or later. And actually, we talked a little bit about Commerce Way too, and you know, whether over a long period of time they may have to go into some kind of a national real estate company to come out and say what Woburn is today. Now he has a good speech about Woburn because the real estate prices are going up in Woburn. If you take the school system, the police, the fire, all the stuff that goes with it, Woburn's a very desirable place to be right now.
It is.
So that he's happy about that too. So
I had a conversation with him. It's a while ago when I thought that maybe he's gone up to Burlington off of Middlesex, and he's seen what I call it's almost like another town. Matter of fact, I went to Wedman's the other day with my wife. I'll hold my thoughts about it. I thought it was, you know, overpriced. You know, my wife's a shopper. Overpriced. The prices are up there, but it didn't enthuse me. You know, you can grab a slice of pizza, you grab this, but I wasn't totally impressed with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Demoulas guy like you.
yeah, I'm a Demoulas.
You know, Stop and Shop.
I'll go to Wegmans though, because I'll check
Try
it out
it.
and see
Try
what's
it.
going on. Yeah.
And so I had the mayor thinking about taking the planning board and the Board of Appeals and the city council, put them on a bus and take them up there to see what Burlington's doing. And that's being done by an outside developers.
Like Nordblum or something
Right,
like that?
Nordblum. You know, and I think that that's what Woburn, you know, needs. I think he's right on target with that because you got to sell. You have to sell what you can. And people drive up Commerce Way right now. Let's see when I get in the car. Now we got a broken down guardrail. We got cat and nine tails. You get up to the 93, you say, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
But you don't have no idea what goes on. What can we do in the middle? And I think that that's got to be sold. You can go up 6 stories here.
Yep.
You can build a hotel here. There's, what is it, six licenses
Yep.
for alcohol beverages?
Yeah.
They're right there.
You'll be
Where?
able to
They're right
get-
over there. You know?
You'll be able to get a beer in a boys' club pretty soon. Pretty soon. They got licenses everywhere. They keep giving them out. I said, boy, it used to be. We talked about it before, but it's just really something. Just a couple more things here on this. So talking to the mayor, they had the reviews of the police department and the fire department. The police department stuff is pretty much up to date. They got all this new stuff there, and cars and what people, and he doesn't have any problems there. But they're working with the fire department, and they're knocking off a few things all the time. And the ultimate goal is the new firehouse and administration building, somewhere between Hammond Square and Central Square and North Woburn, right in that area. And I think the only trees you can see between there and there is that Forest Park up by the Cinema Road.
Yeah.
So that's more than likely. He said, well, we'll have to do a little study. I said, well, we did the same study on the school. I'll tell you right now, save your money. We'll decide right now. Put it there. So that'll probably be in the next few years. But to finish that other point is that his people are making a point that Woburn is a very, very desirable place to be right now. Housing costs, prices are going up. Everything is going up. The schools, blah, blah. Everything is good. He's a very happy young man, the mayor, right now, I think.
Yeah.
And we talked about the bottle bill a little bit because it got smashed, but my idea was, we talked about it, I said, I don't know who his thoughts were, but my thought was, it's about trash, not about the nickel. And he agreed with that, I mean, it's not, people are not worried about the nickel for the plastic bottle, it's the trash. He gets a very, what you call it, I forget the word he used, but he gets a few phone calls from people saying, you send somebody up, send a sweeper there, sweep Montfield Avenue, or do this street or that street, because there's a lot of trash in the curbings.
You know what, we just finished the program at the library, the second one. We get the third one coming up, I think December the 6th, which is about the car, and he makes it into an airplane.
Yeah.
This innovations at the library we've done, this is just a trial basis. We had a company there that is coming up with a product that will replace styrofoam, because styrofoam does not disintegrate.
Yep.
And there's a company here in Woburn.
Really?
And they're coming up with a product, as we speak, they're working on it, that will disintegrate, I think it was like 3 years or 2.5 years. The styrofoam will break down, and again, because as you indicated, to me, that's where it seems to be the litter, is not criticizing one company, but it seems to be coffee cups, bags, a wrapper that you'd put around the donut.
Yep. All the fast food places put out pretty much the same thing. You know what I mean? When you get your stuff from, I could name them all, Wendy's and McDonald's and all of them. You get it passed out the window. It's all wrapped up, and so you eat the sandwich. You throw it over on the side of the car. And then you get home, you throw it out. It gets in the trash. It's just a pain in the butt. And I know from my own personal experience out here at the football games. When everybody goes home after the game, there's not a lot of plastic bottles there.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of Pepsi bottles that the nickels are worth.
Yeah.
They either drink that, take it home, or put it in their backpack and take it home. But what's left there is the paper products. And so that's the discussion we get into, the trash. And then every city and town has got the same problem with the trash, because it costs so much to get rid of it. So, they have different rules and regulations. I think Burlington has a situation where you buy a container. Like you said, one guy comes along, the machine,
hooks
the
it
truck
right up.
picks the thing up and dumps it in. So if you want to put more trash, you buy another. You have to buy them, and that pays for the guy coming to pick it up. You know what I mean? So it's
quite an operation. I've watched it. How that truck works.
Yeah,
two arms come out.
Yeah, you have. I have to wonder. I think you probably have to be trained to put it near the curb so the thing will reach.
Yeah.
You put it back a little, maybe it won't reach. But after a while, they'll do it. And then in a snowstorm, it'll be an interesting proposition too.
True.
Because we get some snow around here. I can't even find my barrel for 3 days. They plowed it, and if you're really unfortunate, they plowed it before the guy came, and it's still full of trash. So that's terrible. All right, let's talk a little bit about the the questions on the ballot. The first one
was the gas
tax. They blew that right away.
Yeah.
So that's a message to the legislature. If you guys want to do that kind of stuff, you're going to vote to raise the taxes.
Yeah.
And I'll say the Globe had an article a couple of weeks ago that said that the transportation department in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is outrageously out of control. They don't have any idea what they're doing in there.
They try to show bridges falling down and holes in the streets.
And we spend 5 times as much money as every other state doing all that stuff. And then they want to build a railroad from Fall River to Boston, all that kind of stuff. I said, Jesus, just get the bridges and things fixed up. You know what I mean? Here the mayor of Boston had to make himself out as being a dope for closing that bridge
Long
in
Island.
Long Island. You know, the people over there, that's probably the poorest of the poor.
It is.
On Long Island. So now he has to make a decision to close the place. He says, I made the decision right now. He said, close it right now.
Yeah.
The people, they Globe went there, the Herald, they took pictures. The guy's toothbrushes there. They hauled everybody off. They put them in a gymnasium somewhere.
I've gone under that bridge probably 50 times, Eddie, in the last 10 years. I fortunate enough to get a boat ride, be asked, I don't know a boat.
Yeah.
And then the Alliance does things out, you know, we have a cruise in the harbor. That bridge looked like it was falling down 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a rust bucket.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That was good that they defeated that, because I think we have representative government. The representatives have to go in there and decide what they want to do as far as spending money. This baloney of saying I won't raise your taxes. I don't want you to be my representative.
We'll fee you to this.
Yeah, I want you to just do the job. Common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense. The 30th Middlesex District, that's what we got. We got a common sense guy in there now, I think. All right, so that was one. Was that one or two? What was one?
One was the gas.
One was the
Two
gas,
was the
two was the
bottle.
bottle. So the
3
bottle,
was the
forget
casino.
The trash. 3, we got blown out of the sky on that one. But still, I think the message was there. You know, you have to weigh it out to say that if this guy can go down there and clean up the Mystic River and Monsanto property, the city of Everett and that section of the state will be a lot better.
I still
off.
have some reservations about whether you and I will ever see a casino here. So, I mean, I know there's one going out in Springfield.
Yeah.
And the slot parlor is at Plainsville, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know about right in here. So we'll see.
Yeah, those two things there. The traffic, they have the traffic being horrendous there. You know what I mean?
You ever go through City Square and come out by the old Schrafts?
Yeah, the cars. There's a lot of cars. I mean, and it's cobblestones and the whole thing.
You can go around there 50 times before you can get in the right-hand lane to get out.
Before you can figure out how to get onto the highway.
What's going to happen there?
I don't know. But I mean, of these thousands of cars of people going to casinos, are they going to be going there at 7 in the morning? Or are they going to be coming out of there at rush hour? Or, you know what I mean? I don't know how they'll do it. They'll just have to hire cops to direct the traffic and do something. I don't know.
If you, anyone.
You can't go the other way.
No. If you go down to Foxwood, I remember Foxwood when it first opened. It was like a Quonset hut.
Yeah.
When it first opened. It was this big round top building like a Quonset hut. If you go down there now, they've got roads, the widest I've ever seen in my life. You can go up, you can go down, you can go under. They have done a complete change of all the traffic patterns. All new highways. Now naturally you come off of 395 Connecticut, or you can come down the other way through Providence. Getting to that, into them, a little tight, but once you hit that intersection,
wide open.
Wide open. It's just, they've done a tremendous amount of work on the infrastructure we'll say, in their
I've
area.
never been to Las Vegas. Is it like that too? The streets, the parking? Can you park anywhere in Las Vegas and walk to a place?
Yes, the answer would be yes to that. You can. Most of your parking in the hotels along the strip, they have parking in the rear, you know, most of them. But you use public transportation. They have buses every 15, 20 minutes. You get on a bus, you can get off. Get on a bus, get off. You know, you can make the hotels on the bus. Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting situation to see how they do it, because right now, if you were coming out of town and were trying to get off at the Sullivan Square exit, that's backed up to the
Right now.
That's backed up to the Boston Garden.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's one single line. You get down the bottom of the ramp.
And you
there's
can
a
go
light
to Somerville and
Yep.
or into
right. That's right.
what I call
they're gonna make that wider or something. I don't know how they do that.
Uh-huh.
But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if he can if he's got enough dough to clean up the money. I don't know why they want Monsanto. They're still in business.
Yeah, they are.
How come they're not kicking in some of it?
I don't know.
They must
I'll
have
be
had
honest with you.
They must have had some insurance guy taking care of this.
Well, you had, so anyways, you got that question. And then what was the fifth question was dealing with?
Sick time.
And that passed.
That passed.
Yeah.
Because
I think most people give it in now anyway.
That's exactly
as you,
what I was
you
gonna
indicated.
say. I asked my son-in-law,
Yeah.
who has a few employees down in South End, and he said, yeah. He said, I just pay them, because I don't know what they call in and they're sick. I don't know if they go to the beach or whatever they do. Just give them the money and forget about it.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to come back the next day anyway.
You know, as Eddie has said, and tomorrow is Veterans Day, and the Marines are 238 years old today. So if you know a Marine, give them Semper Fi, and today's their birthday. But tomorrow is an important day in this city and in our country. I've thought about this. Here we are back in Iraq again. Got 3,000, just sending over 1,500. We had 1,500. We got 3,000 men and women there. They're not in a military environment. Well, what is it? If somebody shoots at them, are they going to shoot back?
Yeah.
What do we want to win there? We trained them. We left them all our equipment.
They gave it all away?
They threw their hands up and said, I quit. Come on. I mean, geez, I just would like to say, what do you want? Do you want some sand? Go down Revere Beach, get all the sand you want. What do we want there?
I don't know.
You know, it's a terrible thing. We're into this thing so deep and so much money, and I cherish our blood of our men and women there. I don't know. I'm very discouraged over that. But anyways, tomorrow, Veterans Day here in Woburn. On the Common, 11 o'clock. They're going to recognize World War II veterans. They're going to have parking for them and seating for them, because most of those ladies and gentlemen are up there now.
In their 90s.
Yep, they're up there. And today I did a program, went to a program down St. Charles School, and it was a great program. I have granddaughters there, so you know, you come and Papa, I'll be there. You know, so the kids sing songs, and George Poole, Joe Simus, and a couple of military personnel, Air Force. I think he was a lieutenant, and a young lady was a sergeant in the Army. 16 years she had put in the Army, and she's still in, and she has 2 children. So they put on a great program. George Poole deserves to get the...
You should get another stripe.
Yeah, if we have a star in Woburn, he should get it.
He should, yeah.
Yeah, because he really gets into it, as you know.
Yeah.
And then Friday night, St. Charles School is 130 years old. I went to it. They had a get together at the school, and I saw one of your gang there.
Well, the gang was there.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
we talked about that a little bit. Yeah.
And it was very nice to see people. That you know how we all age, and you see people, you say, "Geez, I remember him."
Yeah.
And Father Shea come over and was talking to me, and I said, "You see that corner over there, and you see that corner there, and that one over there," and he's looking at me, and I said, "My nose has been in every one." I said,
I sat there with my dunce cap on.
Yeah, it's just Marie Patricia, with my head in the corner.
That's it.
So, but anyways, it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. And the former mayor, Jack Gilgun, was there,
Oh, nice.
and his wife.
Yeah, good.
And it was a great time. I hope they do it again. 130. Now, Eddie, I walked those stairs 55 years ago.
Yeah.
The metal stairs, they're still there.
Yeah, yeah.
The handrails are the same.
Everything is still there.
The hardwood floors, still there.
Yeah,
Still in good condition.
yeah.
How come that building can last 130 years and we can't seem to get 50 out of something?
Well, because we don't have, nobody's watching them as closely as they watch in here, I can tell you that. That's one of the things. That argument has been going on for a long time, the parochial schools, but they don't have the supervision that the public schools have, you know, and I don't think they get the wear and tear, and I don't think they put up with the wear and tear that the public schools get compared to the parochial schools, you know what I mean? You go over to Arlington Catholic. One of my daughters went to Arlington Catholic, and it's the same thing over there. You get out of line over there. You're home. You're home, and don't come back. Don't come back either. So you say, "Whoa, wait a minute," you know. There's no fooling around there. But the public schools are a little bit different. I want to finish by saying that we have to say that. Outside of George Poole and all the people who run these things, is Gillespie's, Giuseppe,
Yeah.
Larry, I get that,
Yeah.
I always do that because of whatever reason. But Larry Giuseppe should be very proud of himself for the work he does for the city of Woburn as a veterans agent. And Jennifer up there with him, you know what I mean? They do a great job. There's no problem that's too big for those two to handle. And I just want the people to know that. And he'll be there tomorrow, so, and don't be afraid to go up to him. He's an ex-Marine, you know, and been over in Vietnam a couple of times anyway. And maybe have some scars on his body to prove it.
He's a Purple Heart.
Yeah, so,
And,
so he just is a perfect guy. I don't know how he loves the job or everything, but he spends a lot of time at the VA, and he spends a lot of time there helping out the veterans, and there's more and more veterans coming back to the city all the time.
He's got a bulldog. Do you ever see his bulldog?
Yeah, he got the.
And his name is Jughead.
Jughead, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bulldog. But anyways, hey,
Well,
hope
time
to
to
see
go.
you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. It's supposed to be a wonderful day. Do you see how today was? It's going to be warmer tomorrow.
All right. Next time. Thanks for
night.
watching.
Happy Veterans Day.